Well, it seems like, I mean, with every show like this that's a remake or a reimagining or whatever it is, you kind of start with a blank slate in some ways, and you get to learn from what other things did previously, but it's a reimagining. It's something entirely new. So I think you've got to come at it not with the other stuff in mind, but just with what do we want to do with this new material.
Right. But we keep the themes of Beauty and the Beast, which is what we sort of bring from the old sort of stories or reimaginings, and make it our own.
You know, it's one of the most important things to me, and I think we could get into like a massively long discussion about what strength is, but we won't. But it's really important to me to have complex, strong female characters around as role models or even just as like an example of what's possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's almost alpha, and so is the Beast, you know, so that creates this really great conflict between the two characters.
I think we'd probably do more winks and nods to the Linda Hamilton, Ron Perlman series. I don't know when those will happen, but and I don't know what they'll be, but I do think the girls and now Brian as well have been talking about doing that.
I was right in there. I grew up watching it back home in New Zealand. So a lot of my friends, you know, have watched the series, so they're like, dude, don't stuff this up. It was a great show. So, you know, there's a little bit of pressure from back home. But I love the series. It was really great, the romantic element. And it was probably the first time, you know, an actor was covered in prosthetics like that and still could create this amazing performance. I got to keep fit, but as the story progresses in our series, the DNA supposedly is going to mutate in the Beast, so he's going to become beastlier as the series goes on. So my physical training will sort of specify that it'll ramp up as this thing mutates inside him. And we're going to start using wires and stuff like that, and sort of look at how high and how far the Beast can jump and what specific sort of animal DNA he has in them. So that will be an ongoing process.
When you do a series, sorry, this is a really weird answer. When you do a series, it's like you play the same thing often over and over again because you have to draw storylines out over a certain period of time. The cool thing is we have Kelly and Brian, who are co-show running, and they ran Smallville for a long time. They ran Smallville for 3 years, but they were on Smallville from season 2 till season 10. So they know how to take arcs, and they're not afraid of doing a big arc and letting you play that out, knowing that they'll have more story in them. But I think that it's important we find, and Jay and I have talked about this a bit, we find the layers to the scenes and to their relationship so it doesn't feel stale.
I do, because, you know, it's fun. But you also get to ground it in reality for yourself as an actor, which is great. So you get the best of both worlds, really. But I haven't really done a lot. I mean, this is probably the tip of the iceberg in terms of supernatural sort of stuff for me. It doesn't really still feel that supernatural. It still feels very real and like this stuff could actually happen, you know, with the Beast's backstory. So yeah, I just want to keep it grounded in reality for myself. Otherwise I'll go crazy. Yeah.